Welcome to Learn and Go, the podcast. Hey, happy Wednesday, everybody. It's me. I am your host. My name is Sydney, and I am also the author of Everything I Need to Know I Learned in Go, How a Preacher's Daughter Pole Danced Her Way to Finding Her True Self. And I love that my friend who is on here as the Lunar Projects called me the Pasty Lady, which is what I got dubbed by somebody in a comment once. And I am not that pasty tonight. I actually look pastier on the screen than I am. I got fried last night, so that's why I'm not wearing the full makeup. I'm just letting my sunburn glow. So let's see who is here with us tonight. We have Luna Projects, we have Dustin, we have Erin, we have Lizzie. I'm so glad to see you all tonight. Thank you for hopping on here. Let's see, everybody's just giving each other hey-heys. Awesome. Yeah, I definitely do not need blush tonight. This is the sun blush. And I had sunscreen on too. I got fried. So it's all good. Yeah, put in the comments, what can I shout out for you guys? What is going on? What can I help support you with? That is what I always like to start the show off on a high note, giving everybody support that I can, because I fully believe that when the tide comes in, all ships rise. As long as we're all supporting each other, we will all benefit. So, hey, so Severian is here. All right, Dustin is starting us off early. If you are new here, that was new here. Tatiana is our code word for cheers. So, like I said in the description, it's hot as shit outside. So grab yourself a cold drink. Cheers to you, Tatiana. Tatiana to you, Dustin, for starting us off. All right, so Severian is here. And it doesn't have to be alcohol. You know, it can be water, it can be smoking something, whatever you like to do. We are all inclusive on Learn and Go, the podcast. So, all right, yes, Dustin is giving a shout out in the comments, and I'm going to post that in a second. So, not going to post your comment yet, but absolutely, we are going to be talking about that in a little bit. Luna Project says, I had a raspberry margarita with dinner out. That sounds amazing. I'm not a margarita girl. I don't do tequila, but raspberry sounds yummy. I'm here for the raspberry, for sure. All right, so since Dustin already mentioned it, we want to give a shout out to The Contract, which is a new project that Erin is involved in. So we definitely want to give a shout out for that. And I'm going to share my screen. Again, guys, you know I suck at this. So be patient with my technologically flawed self. But I have, let's see, a share screen. Yes, it's easier with two monitors. We all know that. Thank you. All right. So the contracts fundraising has started today. They are already kicking ass, as you can see. You guys can see this, right? Okay, cool. So if you go to their Kickstarter.com, there's a big ass number here. So just go Kickstarter.com, look for The Contract. And if there is a direct link, Erin, please put it in the comments so people can find you. There are so many rewards. It's so cool. Look at this. Starting at $5. So you don't have to spend a lot of money if you don't have it to still support this project. One thing I can say 100% is Erin and Lizzie are always supportive to all of us and always share, always back up projects like amazingly. So please, if you can, and if you're not able to spend any money, that's okay. Share this out. It's Black Flame Entertainment, which is part of what I'm involved in when I used to do the goddamn program. That's how I got involved with Black Flame Entertainment. So it's Reaper, it's Erin. There's so many people involved in this project. So please, I'm going to say it one more time. Please support this so that we can support our friends who are involved in this. So very, very proud of all of you. It's not allowing the link post. Okay, maybe that's a YouTube thing, Lizzie. So what we can do, let me see if I can, you know what, maybe I can put it in. Let me see if it's going to spank me or not. Let's say here. Did it work? Share your referral link, it says. All right, it's not. Oh, okay, there it goes. Cool. I might have done it twice by accident, but hopefully you guys can see that. I just shared it in the comments. So yeah, super excited for you guys and love that you are already off to a strong start. Hey, Chris, I'm so glad you're here again tonight. Excellent. Let's see. I saw Dustin say, on my end, Sister Beretta Indiegogo campaign is almost done. I thought it was done because I've been mentioning it the last few weeks. But hopefully, if not, again, donate whatever you can. If you're not able to support monetarily, just share. You never know whose eyes your post is going to get in front of that would be like, oh my God, this is what I've been waiting for. So always, always, always shout each other out because we all know different people. You never know who might see. So also, Traumathon is coming up. Absolutely, July 17th and 18th. A version of Turkey Man will be in Poultrygeist 2, premiering there. Yes, and I can't wait to see you there, Dustin. I'm so excited. And I have some news on that for myself as well. Let's see. I'm just going back through the comments. Luna says, oh, wait, I feel like I missed a post there. Let's see. Got the contract. Okay. Anyway, rosemary lemonade, which had elderflower liquor, vodka, and lemonade with sour and a rosemary sprig. That is hashtag schmancy. I'm not gonna lie. I've got my 3 olives vodka and my Polar sparkling water, Tatiana to y'all, and that's about as fancy as I'm getting. When I'm feeling fancy, I will throw some cherries in it. But that sounds delicious, actually. I'm not a rosemary fan, but the rest of it sounds really, really good. Let's see here. All right, cool. So since you put it on with your software, yeah, okay. So let's see here. You are so awesome and amazing, Erin. So that's why I have to share. Yes, I was going to ask about that too. Beware the Devil's Wrath premieres for Stater Run? I don't know what that means. I'm sorry. In November, and last Sunday, Lizzie and I wrapped on Murder Symphony, both films by Craig Meinhardt. Very cool. If you guys are not following Aaron's page, check him out. He's got so much going on. I'm just like, I'm so happy for you that you have so much going on. That's fantastic. Let's see. Oh, stop sharing. I don't need to keep sharing that. Okay. So that was the first shares for Aaron and Dustin, and so excited for everybody. I wish that theater run, that makes more sense. That's so fun. I had no idea what a stater run was, so thank you. Yeah, I wish you guys all lived close enough to go to Termathon because that is in a couple weeks from Friday. So looking forward to it. And let me go to my photos. So this year, as Dustin mentioned, Poultrygeist 2 is premiering and cannot wait to see it because there's a rumor that a couple people might be in it that you guys know. Now, I'm not promoting that until I see it with my own eyeballs, but just in case, Necrosis and Militia will be there, just in case. And, we may have some things going on because why not, right? It's fun. This might be a little bit of a hint there. But yeah, I love Militia. If you guys are not familiar with this character, she and Necrosis are twins and separated at birth, but I think at one point we were conjoined. So we will be wandering around Termathon and can't wait to see everybody there. So if you are close enough to come, definitely come see us. I am not an official vendor, but I do have copies of my book in my truck at all times. So, may have some photos that fell in there too. You never know. You never know. So definitely come out. Either way, Dramathon, you get 3 movies a night on the drive-in, like drive-in theater. You can't beat this deal. There are live bands, there are vendors. You get to meet Uncle Lloyd. There's Toxie and Sarah. I mean, like so many amazing, amazing, amazing people are going to be there. The entire cast, crew, creator of Poltergeist 2 is going to be there. Uh, Pam Purple will be there selling her hot sauce, which I am a huge fan of. I may have a little bit of a Toxie's elixir addiction. I love that hot sauce, and I use it straight out of the bottle, but I also like to mix it with some mayo and make some Toxie cream. Yeah, really good to dip your fries in. So, anyway, if you are in the Mahoning Valley area, July 17th and 18th, pretty sure that's the dates. That sounds right. Yeah, it's two weeks from Friday. Yes, 17th and 18th. Come out, support Trauma. So much fun. We have a blast. This will be my 3rd year. So excited. Tatiana, to you. If you want to know what started Tatiana, there's a story in Everything I Need to Know I Learned in GoGo, which you can read my Tatiana story. You can get your copy at learnedingogo.com, available in paperback and ebook. So, yes, it is in PA, but it's in Eastern PA. So it's a drive-in that's like in the, I guess that's considered the Pocono Mountains, where it is like Blue Mountain area. And it's so fun, like up there, because you're just like in the middle of nowhere, and it's a really cool venue. They're keeping drive-in theater alive, which I love, because not only do they have Tromathon, but they have so many events there. And I wish it was just a little bit closer to me so I could go support more stuff. But if it's within your reality to get there, I highly suggest it. Oh yeah, if you're on the West Coast, then I understand not being able to get there. That makes sense. Yep, I know you're only one state away, but that's what I was saying. It's on the eastern side, but still, it's doable, right? Anywhere is walking distance if you have the time. That's what Stephen Wright always said. Let's see. Oh, okay. Yes. Dustin says, I believe the director of Poltergeist 2 will have some West Coast showings. So, absolutely. Okay, I see where you are on the West Coast. So maybe you will be able to catch some Poltergeist 2 showings on your area. Dave and I would love to come see you. We were just in Texas, but I looked it up and not even close, because Texas is humongous. Humongous. But yeah, we all need to get together someday. We need to have like a big old meeting of the minds. That would be fantastic. So yeah, okay. I need to get my notes. Y'all know I have oatmeal brain anymore. So let's see. Okay, I felt like I had something else to promote. Okay. Originally from Texas. That's my state. Okay, where in Texas? There's just so many. Yeah, it's freaking huge is correct. You like oatmeal. You would love to be in my brain then, Lizzie. It's a big old sloppy mess lately. Texas is a great place to travel. So much to see and do. It absolutely is. Okay, Decatur. I don't know where Decatur is. Aaron and Lizzie, do you know? Is that near you? I've been to Houston. I've been to San Antonio. I went to Galveston when I was in Houston, and I have been in the Dallas-Fort Worth airport. That is my Texas my Texas experience. Okay, hour west of Dallas. Gotcha. Very cool. So now I'm like thinking about being back in Texas. We flew into El Paso when we went to New Mexico for my cousin's wedding on May the 4th, which was awesome. But yeah, it's so different from where I live. Like And I'm just saying that in like a super cool way, not like oh it's so different, but like wow it's really different and it's cool. I love experiencing different environments and seeing how different people are. It's really cool. I think I'm down to 8, it might be 7 states I have not yet been to. So I've explored quite a bit. Put in the comments how many states have you can either say I've been to this many states or I've not been to this many states, whichever is easier for you to calculate. Um, I don't know that I will ever get to Alaska. That's like the big one that I haven't been to. And maybe I will because you can drive there, but um, that's like my big the unicorn of the states I haven't been to. Chris has been to about 25. All right, you're halfway there, halfway there. Um, I haven't been to like I've been to California, but I haven't been to Washington or Oregon. I've been to Nevada and Idaho, but I haven't been to Utah, Colorado, Arizona. Oh wait, I have New Mexico now, so I think I do have 7 left to do. Yeah, but most of mine are like Southwest and Western coast. Okay, we can go to Alaska. Okay, we're all meeting at Chris's and we're driving to Alaska. That sounds fantastic. I would love to do that in the summer. I have no interest in Alaska in the winter. I don't even like being where I am in the winter, but that would be fun. A big old road trip. That's what we can do. We can do like the Tour de Learn to Go Go podcast, and we'll all just like we'll have little stops along the way where we can all hang out. Aaron says about 9 or 10 states. Highest I've been is North Carolina. Well, you need to come up to Pennsylvania and hang out with us. Hey, Elia's here. Welcome, welcome. Luna says I lived in Abilene, Austin, and Corpus Christi. Sorry, Corpus Christi, and also Three Rivers for Texas. I lived in New York City. I was born and raised in Wisconsin and in Cincy now. Very cool. I was born and raised in Jersey. Spent the first 33 years of my life there, minus a year in Kentucky in college. And then I moved to PA and I've been here for the last 18 years. So living wise has been very, very concentrated. Although, let's see, since I don't live in any of them anymore now, I can tell you I was born in Trenton. I'm a capital kid. I was brought home to Ocean City, lived in Roebling, Ventnor, Millville, Burlington, Pennington, Metuchen, back to Pennington, went to Mantua, then Glassboro, then back to Mantua, then Mount Laurel, then Aura, then Clayton. Then I moved here. So I've moved around a lot, but all in like the same area. So that's like, it's funny when you think about this is the longest I've ever lived anywhere, is where I am now. But it's crazy. Like, oh, and I forgot I was in Kentucky. Between Pennington and Metuchen, I was in Kentucky. And I was in southeastern Kentucky in a dry county and a porn free county. They made it while I was there. So that was interesting. But we had a good time. All right. Aaliyah is on us already with the Tatiana. If you're new here, she likes to get us hammered. So Tatiana to you, my friend. Chris says I went from Texas to Pennsylvania and back in 72 hours. That is impressive. That is very impressive. Lizzie says I'd like to visit Alaska. I'd like to see the 20 hours of night, but I'd also much rather visit during the summer. It's a problem. LOL. Sounds like 2 trips. That's what that sounds like to me. Luna says I have Washington, Oregon, Idaho, Maine, Vermont, New Hampshire, Hawaii, and Alaska. Sorry, 8 states. Okay. It's funny because Washington, Oregon, and Alaska are on my list. Yeah, I did Idaho. I didn't do Utah. I had to like picture the map in my head. I think I mentioned this before, but back in 99, my first husband and I did a road trip where we went from Jersey all the way out to Glacier in Montana and like looped around and came home by way of Kentucky. So we did, I think it was 5,200 miles in a week. And we stopped at a lot of the national parks and stuff like that. But it was kind of like, there's Mount Rushmore, and we like read about it and we walked around and we're like, okay, we're done. Like, we don't have to spend a whole day, here, or like Devil's Tower. Really cool. Did the trails, walked around. That's it. That's all you have to do, and then we were off to the next thing. So that was really cool. That was a really, really fun road trip. And I remember being in Montana and being like, my flabbers were gasted. I could not believe that anybody would ever pay $1.35 for a gallon of gas. Do you know how much I wish gas was $1.35 now? I have a photo of it. I took it because I could not believe how expensive gas was in Montana. Silly, silly Sydney. I had no idea. No idea what the future held. Aaron says, problem for me is I live 30 minutes from the hospital I was born in, lived in, and have lived in. Okay, so you've stayed in your immediate area your whole life. A lot of people do that. That's like not terribly uncommon to like stay in where you are. And that doesn't mean you can't branch out and see new places. Chris says, my daughter lives near Oil City or something like that. Can't remember the exact spot. Okay. Let's see here. Utah is a must. I know Utah is gorgeous and Arizona is gorgeous too. I definitely, from pictures and from other people's experiences, have seen that. And I would love to. It just hasn't happened yet. But I got to check New Mexico off a couple months ago, and I like for the majority of my life was like, I don't know if I'm ever gonna get out there. So absolutely gonna try and knock those off my bucket list. Okay, Aaron doesn't fly. It would be one spectacular road trip. Absolutely. Chris says you'll have to come so we can do some cool photography shots while you're in Oregon and Washington. I would love that. I love photography. And there's so many cool backgrounds and so many cool ways to capture photos. So I love that. I only fly with bat wings. That's fair. And Luna went to Devil's Tower and Mount Rushmore when she was like 12 or 13. Very cool. Dustin says New York, New Jersey, PA, Maryland, Virginia, West Virginia, Kentucky, Alaska, Washington, Florida, New Hampshire, Boston, Louisiana, New Mexico, Arizona, Texas, Connecticut, Indiana, Illinois. You got 19. Very cool. And those are Nevada and Arkansas too, several states to go. Okay, I'm guessing the ones that you have been to, not where you've lived, right, Dustin? Those are just places you've visited. Oh, in Oklahoma, Kansas, Michigan, Colorado. Okay, you're skipping down. Wonder what gas is in Montana now. That's a very good question. I'm going to Google that because I'm kind of nosy about that too. So, Severian, let's see. Average gas cost, Montana today. $3.94. Yep. Definitely not $1.35 anymore, for sure. And the thing was, driving in Montana, anytime there was a gas station, you better go fill up because it could be several hundred miles before you would see another one. So it's interesting, like how much things have changed. And I'm sure, unfortunately, like a lot of the wide open space has probably been developed now too, which sucks. Okay, Dustin, I'm laughing my ass off. My brother always said Wyoming doesn't exist. Always, always, always. So when we were driving through it, I missed the welcome to Wyoming sign. And I'm like, of course I did, because I wanted to take a picture of it. And like I said, this was 99, so there wasn't camera phones. Like I had my digital camera and I had a film camera that I had black and white film in. And all I wanted to do was prove that Wyoming existed. And I missed the sign. And then for some reason on the way out of the state, I did too. But I'm like, damn it, we were in Yellowstone in Wyoming. Like it absolutely exists. But when I saw you said that, that's hysterical. Let's see. Yeah, you can't upload pictures into the comments, which stinks. But feel free to share. You can tag us all. Luna says, Wyoming was part of that trip. Also, there's mountains and trying to remember where my uncle's sister lived in Wyoming. Gotcha. Aaliyah says, my daughter is in a couple Jeep clubs. Oh, cool. They go wheeling all the time. And if not that, they are hiking in Utah. Very cool. I've heard of Gillette, Wyoming, actually. You're down to 295-ish? Really, Lizzie? I just paid 365 today, and that was like decent. I'm not going to say it's good, but like just being under $4 again is like, it sucks. Like, yeah, Chris says gas in Portland 465 and premium at 519. I'm so glad I don't have to put premium in for sure. And Dustin says, I only say that because I've never met anyone who has been from there or can prove they've been there, right? Oh, and you've been to Delaware. Hi, I'm in Delaware. I say that every time because I'm in Delaware all the time, and I always have to quote Wayne's World every time I go into Delaware. Let's see. 295 is nice for sure. And Luna is asking Aaliyah how many ducks she has because she drives a Jeep. That's hysterical. Yes. Okay. So, Chris, fun fact. Oregon and New Jersey are the only states that you're not allowed to pump your own gas. And I grew up in Jersey, so I never pumped my own gas until I became a gas attendant when I was like 19, 20 years old. So it was at a Texaco, and there was me and another girl that were gas attendants, and then everybody else was dudes. So I would get guys all the time to be like, when did they start letting girls pump gas? I'm like, you realize in 48 other states, women pump gas like all the time. And I'm probably not, me and Michelle are probably not the only female gas attendants in New Jersey. So you're an ignorant fuck was what I wanted to say. But what I did say was, well, shortly after the dinosaurs became extinct and women were seen as people. And I'm pretty sure that I tell the story of my last day at the gas station in my book when I was praying. I was praying for some ignorant dude to say that. And it happened. I was so lucky. And when they started letting girls pump gas, I said, sir, please step out of your car. And he did. He was stupid enough to do it. And I said, do you see this pump? He says, yeah. I said, do you see the hole that says insert penis here? Why on earth would women not be capable of pumping gas, you dumb shit? Like, seriously. And there was a delivery guy that showed up. And at the time, I forget why my car was in the shop, but I was driving my parents' conversion van, which is what I learned how to drive on, like full size. And it was actually an oversized van. This was after the conversion van. They had one, it had 3 bench seats. It looked like it was not a church van, but it looked like a church van. Like I think it's sat 12 because you had the 3 rows and the 2. Yeah, that sounds right. 3, 6, 9, 10, 11, 11, I guess. So I had it, in the parking lot. Guy comes in, he's like, excuse me, sweetie, can you ask the guy that owns the van to move it? I said, it's my van, and I'll be happy to move it for you. And he looks like he's going to crawl into a hole. He felt so stupid. So then he goes, oh, you're not working in the store today? I said, I never work in the store. I'm a gas attendant. That's 2. Like, just shut your mouth. I probably should have been like, yeah, I'll go see if I can find him. And then like never move my van because screw you. Like, dumb shit. But I get that all the time. So it's just funny when you think about how the majority of states are self-serve, but because it's New Jersey and Oregon are full serve, people are that freaking ignorant. So anyway, didn't mean to go off on a tangent there. Let's see. Going back through the comments. Aaliyah's daughter has tons of ducks. That's awesome. Chris says, I came up here from Texas and I tried to pump my own gas and they yelled at me to get back in my car and then told me I was breaking the law and they could call the cops on me. It's true. It's true. It's a stupid law, but it is a law. Lizzie says, girl, I know. Last time we were in New Jersey, I was driving age and the full service thing just felt so demeaning. My aunt, on the other hand, expects to be waited on like that. Different strokes. You know what's funny? I don't mind pumping gas. Like I pumped gas as a job, and then I have many other times since then because now I live in a self-serve state. But when it is pouring rain or it's snowing, and I can just say, "Here you go." But on top of that, I always tip the gas attendant, and a lot of people don't. And I think it's because I was a gas attendant. And, it's a couple bucks. It's enough to get a cup of coffee or a soda or, whatever. But I'm always just like, thank you. And they just, they always look at me like, are you serious? I'm just like, it's all good. So I appreciate it, but I also let them know that I appreciate it. So let's see. Okay, Luna learned in a Chevy Blazer. Gotta love the stick shift. I'm jealous. I still want to learn how to drive a stick shift. I have been told by, I believe, three people that they were going to teach me, and then they backed out at the last minute. Two, because they were trying to teach someone else before it was my turn, and that someone else crashed their car. That's fair. But yeah, I've always wanted to learn, and I have not yet learned how to drive a stick shift. That is on my bucket list because I want to know how to do that. Okay, Elias, back with the Tatiana. Just you. All right, let's see. This, Lizzie's clarifying that she was not calling Chris girl. That was to me. That's hilarious. I love it. Um, let's see what else is going on. New York City, they also pumped. I didn't know that. And Luna got yelled at, but that was the early 90s. Absolutely. Thank you for tipping the attendants. It doesn't happen here often, but I will always give them a couple dollars. Absolutely. Like it's just a little thank you. Dustin says, I feel like that's a 1970s porno, a male attendant letting a woman pump her own gas and then she pumps more than the gas. Hey, if it doesn't already exist, you have your next movie project. That's hilarious. Aaliyah says, I learned to drive with three on a tree. Very nice. Lizzie learned to drive in a minivan and also never learned stick. Rant. Folks like to act superior that they can, but won't loan you their car or teach you how. Shenanigans. Yep. And Luna says, well, there you go. Go pump and pull. I love how we always come back around to these conversations. It's hysterical. I love it. But yeah, I used to when I was a guest attendant, at the time my hair was about this long and green. And I used to have all of my Winnie the Pooh earrings in. So it would be like Pooh Bear, Tigger, Piglet, Eeyore. And then on the top, I'd have something else going on. And I'd put my hair in like two pigtails sticking out. And I would show up in your car window and be like, hi, can I help you? And be like, ah. And whatever music was playing, like you guys have heard me talk about how I put on performances in grocery stores now. Back then it was the gas station playing whatever, adult contemporary station was on, and I'd just be singing and, like putting on a whole show. So this one little old man would come in his Oldsmobile that you'd need to be like, boop, boop, like give him the air traffic controls or like help him dock it. And he'd always tell me that if I cleaned his windows, he'd take care of me. And, whatever. I don't mind washing your windows, sir, but he'd give me a quarter. And this was 1995. And I'd be like, thank you, but I'd be like, I can't even get a pack of gum because with tax, it's 27 cents. But he was a sweet little pop-up. So I didn't mind washing his windows and checking his oil for him. But it was just always so funny. If you do that, I'll take care of you, sweetie. I'm like, okay, thank you, sir. And then I get my quarter. Leah says, I learned to drive in a Studebaker truck that had 3 speeds on the column. Actually, it's called the drive column. Very old truck. I have heard of a Studebaker. That is very cool. Aaron says, Dustin have it set on Thanksgiving and call it the turkey hole. Excuse me. Luna says better than the glory hole. I guess that depends on who you're asking, but it's wherever you want to stick your bird. Get it? Okay. Dustin says the Kickstarter isn't ready yet. No spoilers. Oh my God. Aaron says it comes with its own gravy. I love that YouTube is allowing you to do these shenanigans tonight, Aaron. That's hysterical. Chris says, I learned to drive a stick. My dad took me out, showed me how to do it, then dropped me off in the middle of nowhere and told me to get the car home while he hopped in my mom's car. A couple hours later, I made it home. Okay, that's hysterical because that is so like I'm Gen X and that's so like our parents, the whole like dad gonna throw you in the pool. I don't know how to swim, not with that attitude, just freaking figure it out. So I absolutely feel that. Um Working title sucking cranberries. Stop it. This is hysterical. Luna says, in Texas, I'm sure it was probably easier. My dad brought me to a dirt road with the stick shift. There you go. That's hysterical. Okay, Gen X as well. So you understand. My dad parked on a hill. Seriously. Okay, you have to figure that out. That's tough. Because I have like friends who only ever drove stick shift and like getting it on the hill. That's crazy. All right, so we we have come up with a new movie idea that I cannot wait to see how you where that goes. Hysterical with your turkey. Oh my goodness. Gas or gravy? Let's see. Aaron says my dad tried to Texas me. I think that means teach me to drive in his Firebird, and it didn't last too long. He thought I went too fast. I love Firebirds. They're beautiful cars. Beautiful cars. I remember driving back to college in the van and my dad looking over and I was doing like 95 and he just was like, just be careful because he drives fast. And now I drive fast and now my one child drives very fast. So just be careful. Just be careful out there. That's all I'm going to say. So, to switch gears a little bit, this weekend is 4th of July weekend. So, I want to know what kind of traditions you have had in past years. Did you grow up with sparklers when you were a little kid or like big fireworks? Did you do cookouts? Did you go down the shore or camping? Or what kind of things do you think of when you think of 4th of July weekend? And since it's the 250th anniversary where I live outside of Philly is all kinds of losing their minds about it. Because so much happened in Philadelphia. So they're having, I think today, the Constitution Hall had no admission fee, so you could get in free. That was courtesy of Wawa, which is the local convenience store that has had Hoagie Fest for, I think they said 30 years or something like that. If you're not from my region, they're hoagies. They're not subs, gyros, or heroes. They're hoagies. But they were covering everybody's admission into Constitution Hall. That doesn't sound right when I say it, but I swear that's what it's called. Um, so there've been a whole lot of historical things going on in the city, and I would love to go, but it's chaos. And so I'm kind of watching from afar. But I want to know like what you guys have experienced thus far in your lives as far as 4th of July weekend, because as opposed to Memorial Day weekend, which is honoring the fallen and actually has a very somber reason behind it, even though everybody like is having cookouts and acting a fool, like 4th of July is just a celebration. So hey, Reese is here. Hey, my spectacular friend. My name has been made again with this great show. You're absolutely amazing. You are absolutely amazing. And Reese will be on the road trip of shenanigans when we all get together and start road tripping across the country. Dustin says, to quote Clerks 2, interspecies erotica, baby. I won't reveal who gets stuffed and who does the basting. Are you going to get Kinky Kelly? I love Kevin Smith too, and I'm so happy that I've gotten to meet him a couple times. He's just Fantastic. Oh, Aaron's giving us a double Tatiana. Okay, join us in a smoke, my friend. We'll do one and two. Thank you for the double Tatiana. Okay, Wawa has made it that far west. It was originally the original Wawa is 15 minutes from me. Um, and it's funny because I got a job at a convenience store called Heritage's. It looks like, well, I just said it wrong. I was going to say it looks like Heritage's, but it's Heritage's is how you say it. And it's convenience store. You make hoagies, you do like the sandwiches, the lunch meat, everything. And we were across the street from a Wawa. Now in Philly, there's very well known tourist trap cheesesteak places, Pat's and Geno's. They're just, they're known because like they're just the touristy ones to go to, but they're like across the street from each other, and it's just like, showdown at the Wild West, Pat's and Geno's. That's what Wawa and Heritage's was like, working across the street from each other. So for me, like, and Heritage's is definitely South Jersey, period. So when Wawa started branching out, it was like, oh, they're getting bigger, like they're outgrowing Heritage's and now they're humongous. So then it started heading west, which is where Sheets is, which is another convenience store place. So then it was like the battle of Wawa and Sheets. And now we've got Royal Farms sneaking in. And then in the Amish area, you got your Turkey Hill. So it's just like, and then you go up North Jersey and there's Quick Check, and there's still some 7-Elevens around. Like the amount of convenience stores is ridiculous. Now we're getting Circle K and Speedway, which is a new one for us. Like, I kind of liked being able to travel, going back to the road trips, and seeing the different places, even if it's just a convenience store. Like, what's different in this area of the country from where I live? And now it's all kind of mishy-mashy. And yeah, Royal Farms has a chicken, and like they each have their own different thing, but it's kind of cool that when you can only get that in a certain place, and now it's all kind of getting together. Oh, you have to drive to Jersey to get Wawa. I didn't know if they were in New York. Let's see. Oh, cool. You recently showed your kids the Gloria poppers that they're on the ground. They are so fun. And like, do you do the snap? Do the snap with the popper? You can tell them they're not allowed to do it. You have to be a grown up to do it. Be like, pew. So fun. Chris says, I tried to set my grandma's pants on fire when I was a kid with those little bee fireworks. It flew up her pant leg and she wore those old polyester pants. Oh no, I hope she was okay. We used to get, oh no, she went to the hospital. That sucks. I am so sorry. There is Independence Hall. That's not, but I'm pretty sure that there's, yeah. You know what it is? I keep wanting to say convention, and I think that it's the Constitution Center. That's why I'm saying it wrong. Oh, okay. So typically it's a $30 admission and you got it for free today. That's pretty cool. But yeah, Constitution Center. I've been there on field trips with my kids. I just was having a brain fart about the name of it. And some genius at the Constitution Center decided to sell slide whistles as a thing in the gift shop. So like every school trip that was there, and there were hundreds that had like hundreds of children each, all had these slide whistles. Oh my God. I had to like walk out and just regain my brain. I'm like, okay, that's crazy. Lizzie says, oh, my mouse isn't working. In Germany, we always found amazing fireworks for the 4th. My favorite was a barge trip down the Rhine. Very nice. And they had the castles lit like they were on fire. I believe they still do it. That is awesome. Kids aren't old enough to shoot fireworks yet. Usually go to a barbecue and enjoy some music and fireworks. Awesome. Yeah, when we were kids, it's funny because Jersey fireworks were legal, then they were illegal. I'm not sure what Jersey's is now. In Pennsylvania, they were illegal to buy if you lived in Pennsylvania, but you could sell them in Pennsylvania, but you could only sell them to people from different states. Who makes these laws? So stupid. So we used to get my brother to come over and buy them because he had his Jersey license, and then we lit them off in the backyard. Um, one year we got a dud, and like because we'd get the big, the big honking giant ones. So one year, Dave and my neighbor are out in the backyard lighting them off, and like we'd have the hose out there. We'd have, like we'd take precautions. We weren't just lighting off fireworks willy nilly. And they lit the first one, and I was in the house, and I'm looking out the living room window, and there's a cop outside, and I'm like, oh my god, because it was still illegal at that time. And so I run out back, and I'm trying to get their attention because I can't yell cops, So I'm like, cops are outside, and I'm like waving and everything. Well, the police officer comes out back, you know, whose fireworks are the whole thing. And so, Dave's like, they're mine, I'm sorry, whatever. And the cop was like, well, we got a report of smelling smoke. And he's like, oh, I just lit the first one off, so it wasn't whatever the person reported wasn't us. So he's like, okay, well, have a good night. And just remember you have neighbors. So be respectful. And we're like, does that mean that we can? He's like, remember you have neighbors and be respectful. Because he couldn't say, because that's illegal, but he could see that we've had the hose and the barrier and like everything. So a few years later, we had neighbors that had just moved in, and we invited them over, like, come on over, we're going to do fireworks, da, 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 da. Well, we had a dud, and it flew and blew a firework under our deck through the lattice. The lattice had a big old hole in it. They didn't talk to us for like months. I'm like, they probably think we tried to kill them. So then the years after that, we added to the hose and the existing plank and added like a barrier in case we got a dud, so it would stop it. And then they made them legal, and now everybody lights them off like every other day. So it's like, it's not even fun anymore because people are just constantly, with graduation season, like every freaking night there's fireworks, and my poor dogs are freaking out. Like, I get it, you're having fun, but you don't have to do it for like 5 straight hours. Like, remember that people have little kids and animals and stuff like that. Like, have your fun, but you have neighbors, be respectful. So let's see here. Dustin says, you lost me at Germany and fire. Oh, honey, I'm sorry. I just understood what you meant. Lizzie says, we moved here. I don't want to say Texas sucks at fireworks, but compared to all that, that's fair. Luna says, the fireworks here are spectacular, but not 4th so much, but on Labor Day. Okay, they have a huge fireworks show. Chris says, my favorite Pennsylvania sandwich has to be from Primanti Brothers. My ex is from Pennsylvania. Is that the Philly area of Pennsylvania, or is that in a different area? Yes, you need to come to my husband's deli, Luna, for serious. It's, even if I wasn't married to him, it's the best deli I've ever had in my entire freaking life. I'm so spoiled, and I appreciate it so much. Let's see here. Lucy, hi. Let's see. Yes, 100%. When we do our get together, my husband will be in charge of catering. You guys will not be disappointed. And Dustin, he makes an incredible vegan stew and roasted veggie hoagie. So be awesome. Yes. Yep. We were on the cover of Philadelphia Magazine. I'm saying we, like I have anything to do with the deli. His deli was on the cover of Philadelphia Magazine. So good. So good. Let's see here. Everybody's saying hi. Dustin says, I love traveling and seeing the different things like Wawa, Waffle House, Cracker Barrel, Sheets. Still need to go to Buc-ee's. I have not been to Buc-ee's either. So yes, we both need to do that. That would be awesome. Aaron says, I'll keep everyone updated on all the different movies and when they will be available to see, but I'm going to say Murder Symphony. Sydney, I'm calling now. Will be. Oh, okay. You think that'll be one of my favorite ones. Okay. Awesome. Chris says, we have convenience stores and we have gas stations. 7-Eleven here does not sell gas. A lot of the ones here don't. And the ones that I saw that did went under. They're just 7-Eleven, you get your bad nachos and your Bahama Mama hot dog sausage John and your like big fat hot dogs. All the things on the roller that have been there about 8 hours longer than they should have been, and the microwavable stuff. That's what 7-Eleven's for. Don't worry about gas. Give us the Slurpees, the big gulps. I don't drink either of those, but in general. Um, and that kind of stuff. But don't try to do too much. Everybody's trying to do too much. Just do what you do and do it the best that you can. You don't have to do 80,000 things. Do 5 things and do them phenomenally, and people will come. So let's see. Oh, someone just started setting off fireworks here. Yep. That's what I was wondering too. They celebrate 4th of July fireworks in Germany. I was kind of wondering the same thing. Clark's here. I was wondering if you were going to join us tonight. Welcome, welcome. I'm so glad you're here. We're talking about ways that we celebrated 4th of July growing up or ways that you do now. So feel free to hop in and join the conversation. Okay, yes. They did when we were there in the 80s. They had a lot of U.S. Army bases. Yes, that makes sense. Dave the Badass Deli Boss. We're the complaint department for him. Yeah, so Severian has had food from the deli, so he can back me up that it's the best. Let's see. Dustin says, look at you, Aaron and Lizzie. So many projects and doing so many. Happy and proud of you both. Amen. For sure. Luna says, been to Buc-ee's. I think it's exclusive to Texas. I think it's branching out. I feel like I've seen people post that there are Buc-ee's in different states, but I know it's like the Beaver and, like Dustin says, it's been expanded. Apparently there's one in Florida now. Lizzie says, Buc-ee's can suck it. All that space they take up, but no room for the truckers that stock them. Boo shenanigans. That's good to know. I only ever see people posting pictures from Buc-ee's. I've never been to one, so that is very good to know. Let's see. Luna says, love the 4th for grilling and spending time at the beach. Absolutely. And Clark says there's at least one in Louisiana about Buc-ee's. There's nothing better than grilling. I just love, whether it's burgers and dogs or chicken or fish or whatever you want to throw on the grill. Like, I even love doing like the zucchini and the yellow squash and onions and good stuff. So that's what I think of, and like potato salad and, like all that stuff. Bratwurst, very good. Corn on the cob, all those things. But to me, that's like all summer though. And there was a lot of years where the 4th, I didn't really do anything. So it's kind of like I'm getting back into it. No, not turkey at all, Dustin. But yeah, veggies on the grill is delicious for sure. I love my potato salad. I do think my potato salad is the bangingest of all. And I'm not ashamed to give myself a little for my tater salad. So Severian says, the roll-in menu is the best around. Fantastic at the very most important things. Hoagies. Oh, chicken cutlet sandwiches. I was like, what's a chicken? Chicken cutlet sandwiches, the parms, the ultra H provolone, pepperoncinis. All the things, because we get our prosciutto is imported from Italy. So it's aged, and so is our sharp provolone. Let's see. Dustin says, when I hear potato salad, I always think of SNL Black Jeopardy sketch about it. I don't know that one, but I do know the one comedian that was, what was they called? The blue collar, whatever. And he got pulled over and the cop was like, do you go by any other names? And he's like, they call me tater salad. Like, I always think of that. That's hysterical. Veggies in the air fryer is great too. I don't know if I've ever had, I feel like I've had to have had veggies in the air fryer, and I'm not counting like hash browns and tater tots. I'm not counting starch. I'm counting like veggies. I'm not sure if I ever have. Like, I love boneless, skinless chicken thighs in the air fryer. And yeah, like I have an air fryer that I've grossly underutilized. So I need to try that for sure. Yes, Ron White. Thank you, Clark. Yes, that's exactly who I'm thinking of. Um, let's see here. A little olive oil with whatever seasoning you want is fantastic. Absolutely, I agree. I think I did post the cover at one point, Luna, because I was so proud. Nachos. Are you talking about nachos in the air fryer? I love nachos, period. Any kind of nachos. Oh, and it's so funny because Luna said I love veggies, period. Same. All right. Getting another Tatiana. Faux show. Yeah, he calls his son Tater Tot. That's cute. Yeah, there's nothing like a good olive oil. There was my friend gave us it was the metal can of the olive oil, and it's a special kind. Look at those of you who are just listening are missing my hand gestures. I can't remember the name now, but it was like a local one that a certain family made, and they only do it at this one time of year, and everything's pressed. Like it was, you could drink it. It was so, 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 so good. So good. And we haven't been able to get it again, but it was delicious. Need a straw for sure. Yeah, but that's definitely there's good olive oil and there's not so good olive oil. So a good olive oil is key. Oh, okay. Luna says we have the Spicy Olive, which is a place that sells infused olive oil, balsamic vinegars, and wines. There's a place up the mountain. Well, I don't think it's there anymore, but it was Pocono Oil and Spice. Excuse me. They're still online, but their brick and mortar store closed. They had all of the the olive oils, but they were in the metal. Stein is not the right word. Carafe is not the right word, but they were like with the pourer on it. They're not kegs, but in the same vein. And you could try all the different infused olive oils, balsamic vinegars, and that they had a white balsamic that was amazing. But their Lambrusco, I could drink. I used to put that on my salad and everything. Delicious. They have a butter olive oil that I still use all the time, but they'd have, like the garlic and onion, and then they'd even have like chocolate or orange or like anything you could think of. Olive oil, vinegar. Then they'd have spice rubs. They have, it's called Pennsylvania pepper, and I use that on everything. And it's just different kinds of ground peppers. It's delicious. I actually put it in my pepper grinder with regular peppercorns and then like a layer of Pennsylvania pepper and then peppercorns and Pennsylvania pepper. Really, really good. Oh, they have a black garlic, olive oil, and a blood orange one. Yeah, it's really good, and it's amazing the different things that you can do with that. There was we had a Meyer lemon one that was really good on broccoli. Let's see. My title says Holy Heat Batman, but it's barely made it to 67 degrees today, which is wonderful. Went and sat at the park this morning to see what photos I could catch. I'm going to guess that means park. But that's awesome. See, I'm jealous. And we didn't even get to that because the show is about over. And the reason I am so sunburnt is because Dave and I went and picked up a handicap ramp for my mom yesterday and moved it. And it was my sister's friends, so we had to take it apart and everything. So 6 hours being out in the sun with an aluminum and steel ramp. And we did it yesterday because that was the coolest day of the week, and it was 91 degrees. So I think tomorrow's supposed to be 103, and then Friday is 104. And it's just insane. It's like I don't remember it being like this when I was growing up. Like you would get maybe a 100-degree day once a year at the most. I remember when I was a secretary, we had 3 days in a row that was over 100, and that was unheard of. Yeah, today was 96. So like it's just insane like dealing with this heat because we're not used to. Okay, so tomorrow is now 102, Friday's 102, Saturday's 99, Sunday's 92, then Monday's 77 because we're getting thunderstorms. Like, cool. I'm down with that. Yes, definitely hydrate. It was funny because my dad came to, help and everything, and I kept like giving him my water. I'm like, you need to hydrate. He's like, I had it. I said, drink this or go home. I'm like, I'm not arguing with you. It's too freaking hot. You need to drink water. He's like, I'm going to take this bottle of water and I'm going to hydrate. I said, thank you. Because it's too freaking hot. Aaron says we've had streaks of triple digit months. Yeah, I can't. It's supposed to calm down to 95 tomorrow. Texas winters were never like this. It's great. The weather's changed so much. And it's like, I mean, it's been an hour, so I'm not even going to go down the tangent, but just it's hot. So if you are somewhere where it is hot, please stay hydrated, stay cool, stay in the shade. Like don't do anything outside you don't need to. Take care of yourself because it sneaks up on you. It sneaks up on you. You think you're fine and then you're passed out. Luna says, I got blood orange, Meyer lemon, and cider shrub. Okay, which is similar to a vinegar or maybe type of one. I made a vinaigrette with my black garlic oil and lemon juice. That sounds yummy. Yummy, yummy. It's so funny, Lucy. I always said that Mother Nature is bipolar. Then I go, because she's got the North Pole and the South Pole. Get it? Bipolar. But yeah, 100% Mother Nature is off her meds and needs to calm her tits because it is crazy to keep up with this. And then my dogs, like, because I can't let them outside that long. I'm like, go potty, you got to come right back. And they just want to be out there. I'm like, too hot. And then they're in here either pouting or barking or whatever because they can't do what they want to do. So it's crazy. It's crazy. But on that note, my loves, it is that time. I want to say thank you again to everybody who hopped on here tonight, everybody who is listening at a later date. Please, please, please follow each other, share each other's projects, support each other. Again, if you are in the Lehighton, Pennsylvania area or within a decent distance, please come to Tromathon. So fun. You will have a blast. Come hang out with me and my really cool friends who will be there. And yes, that's, let me see. Yeah, exactly. Well, they just go out with the invisible fence. Luna's saying that's when you wake early to walk them or late walk after dark. They don't even go off the grass. It's too hot. But yeah, anyway, sorry. I'm a little distractible as usual. Thank you again to everybody who has gotten a copy of Everything I Need to Know I Learned in GoGo. If you have not yet, you can get your copy at learnedingogo.com. If you get a paperback directly from me, you will get free personalization, a free bookmark, a free compilation playlist of all of the songs I mentioned in the book, songs I used to dance to, songs I used in the more recent past for workouts, and you will get free shipping if you are in the US. So definitely please share my book, share my podcast, share my positive affirmations that I post every morning. I keep them short so they are easily shareable. And remember that this podcast is every Wednesday at 9 p.m. Eastern. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I love you guys so much. And in the next week, if you get hit with some tough times, just remember to hit those problems straight on, because when you hide your head in the sand, you think you're hiding from your problems, but the rest of the world just sees a big ass. And I forgot, speaking of a big ass, guess what? I forgot to put the video. Dun, 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 dun. Okay, let's try that again. You think you're hiding from your problems?